The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
What's up? It's that time again. I hope you're ready for another YVMC podcast. It's your girl Amanda Michelle, and my co-hosts tonight are
Tyrus Parks,
Bay Holloway.
Hey. So guess what, guys? You better buckle up because as always, we're going to bring you the news everyone else refuses to talk about. Can you help me say controversy?
Well, tonight, to get things going, let's take a look at how the American justice system continues to run wild right under our very noses. After his alleged suicide, sex trafficking charges were dropped against convicted pedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Ooh, boy. Look at Jeffrey.
Look at Jeffrey.
How ironic that these charges were dropped at the same time that Epstein's attorney claims that he was a victim of homicide rather than suicide. Autopsy reports indicate that Epstein suffered broken bones and injuries typical for someone that has been strangled rather than hung. Whew. Just because the case was dismissed on the grounds that the accused is deceased doesn't necessarily mean the end of the road for justice. Several of Epstein's accusers have filed significant lawsuits against the estate, to say nothing of potential cases to be filed against his associates and enablers.
Oh, child. Now, I feel like it's so ironic. Like, he just...
They choked that man to death.
Right?
He got knocked off. Y'all saw Prison Break.
He knew too much. That's like, we got to get rid of him.
And then they going to exonerate his name, so it look all right, like he didn't do it. So
but they're going to start going after all of the people involved because he wasn't the only one. He couldn't have been the only one.
No. That's why they killed him, because he wasn't the only one.
He was the weakest link. That's why he had to get him out.
They're like, he finna tell on us?
Yeah.
Oh, you thought?
We're just going to strangle him and then hang him.
Now, speaking of Epstein's enablers, a certain group of individuals have been in the media lately for sordid behaviors resembling that of Epstein's.
Ooh.
First off, here's a violent New Jersey police chief, Rudy Bowe.
Let's see, Rudy.
Now, as chief, he charged over 150 cops. He's charged of over 150 cops within the department. One of these officers with more than 10 years on the force accused Bowe of sexual harassment involving his wife and his daughter. Now, it is alleged that on multiple occasions, first starting off in 2017, Chief Bowe propositioned the officer with promises of a promotion if he would allow him to, and another high-ranking officer, to have sex with his wife. To have sex with his wife or with his daughter, who was 13 years old at the time. Now, of course, Bowe is denying these allegations, stating that the officer claims to be retaliatory because he did not get a promotion. Now, however, the president for the police union says, I have no reason to believe that it did not happen in that way because I have seen and witnessed Mr. Bowe be untruthful too many times. The city of Vineland, New Jersey is launching a full investigation. Do you think Chief Bowe would be found guilty?
I think even more important than that is how can your president say he's known to be untruthful and this man still the police
and he's still employed?
Like, that's just telling you about the culture and everything that they have
Red
going
flag.
on behind the scenes. But as far as Mr. Bowe, you'll get your due justice. Please stop trying to have sex with underage children and people's wives.
I think he'll be found guilty just because the president said what he said.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, he'll be a scapegoat.
If he would have been standing behind him, then he might have got off like everybody else.
Yeah, he's going to actually be really damage control now because I feel like the president said that. So now he's a scapegoat. He got to get fired. So
yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, President. Now, while that story may sound far-fetched and unbelievable, there have been other instances where an officer has raped a fellow cop's child. In April of this year, Kenneth Collard, a former officer with Los Angeles Police Department, pleaded guilty to raping a 13-year-old girl who was the daughter of a good friend who was also a fellow LAPD officer. Wow. Collard was sentenced to 5 years in prison, just 5. But then there are officers like Honolulu officer Teddy O. Van Lerberg who flexed their blue privilege and reached plea deals with prosecutors guaranteeing that they won't go to jail.
No, he needs
now, his plea deal was based on his victim's desire, this is what they said, to not to see her abuser locked up. This is probably due to the fact that the victim is a family member. The deputy prosecutor said in court that he offered Teddy a plea deal in the sexual assault case against him involving a victim who was 5 years old when the sexual assault started, because that's what the victim wanted. As long as Van Lerberg could never be a police officer again and will have to register as a sexual offender. Therefore, for the repeated rape of a small child, Circuit Judge Rowena Somerville, also photographed, sentenced Van Lerberg to just 5 years of probation for 4 counts of second-degree sexual assault and 3 counts of third-degree sexual assault. Despite facing over 100 years behind bars for all of these charges, the felony charges for him were facing were reduced, and he will no longer serve time in prison at all. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I got a little buzz going
Scot-free.
to jail for half a gram of
Scot-free.
weed. Yeah, I got a three offenders law, 3 strikes laws, mandatory minimums, and your man out here raping little babies and not going to jail.
5-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, you get more time for having marijuana and you in a state that's
last time I checked,
it's not legal.
But last time I checked, even if a victim doesn't want to come forward and say, whatever, because it's a child shouldn't have to come forward. Isn't there still a case that they have to go through a process?
It doesn't dismiss the case.
And even worse, it's not that she didn't say he didn't do it. She just said, I don't want to see him go to jail. And that could be because he may have her knocked off. People around.
I mean, or maybe she's just such a
passionate,
forgiving child that she decided, he doesn't
or
deserve
you're
to
a
spend his life
child
behind
that
bars.
or you're a child that doesn't want to have to repeat over and over and over through a trial that he was assaulted, raped. Like, no child wants to go through that process, to be honest with you.
I've seen that. I mean, I know it's on TV shows, but I've seen that on a lot of those kind of shows where people are like, I'd rather just not do anything because I don't want to have to get up and repeatedly tell this story and live through the trauma.
The fact that this child even came forward is showing that child is brave, because there are a lot of children that don't come forward until they're adults.
A lot of adults that don't come forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, while we know this is shocking information, unfortunately, the officer involved in sexual misconduct is not as uncommon as we'd hoped, and the majority of it happens to children. In one study conducted in 2010 of the officers associated with reports of serious sexual misconduct, 51%, that's 180 of them, were reported for misconduct that involved minors.
Wow.
Save the kids, please.
Well, I mean, police attacking young people just seems to be the craze for these days. In Newark, New Jersey, a 15-year-old boy was assaulted by New Jersey Institute of Technology police officers for failing to stop at a stop sign while riding his bicycle. Let's take a look at the videotape of this incident.
Riding the bike?
University right now. You're attempting to make a bike stop and parties with golf on us. You haven't done it. Check him out! What's wrong, guy? Why are you running? Why are you running? Because you said that.
Okay.
Well, it's really embarrassing to be, have that in front of your classmates. Then you got to go into class and explain that, hey, I didn't run a stop sign. Not that I had, cocaine or something weird going on. So after this video went viral, the New Jersey Institute of Technology Police Department was forced to respond and act. They announced that the 2 police officers have been suspended pending an investigation, and the university has promised to take all appropriate actions as soon as the investigation is complete, a.k.a. the smoke clears and they'll have to talk about it
You can't even
anymore.
ride your bike no more. That's sad.
mean,
I never learned those hand signals and stuff that you're supposed to do with riding a bike. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, because, yeah. All right.
What?
I honestly.
Okay. We all just know. Sorry. I honestly don't think police officers care whether or not someone they assault or whose life they ruin is a child, adult, guilty, innocent. Oh, it don't matter. When you are black, it appears to be open season for the good old boys. Hey, now, let's talk about Leon Horton, a green card holding, hard-working Jamaican immigrant who was just traveling back from a visit to Jamaica when he was detained at Baltimore Washington International Airport last December. Now, let's take a look at this video and see his experience.
When K-9 started sniffing Leon Horton's luggage at Baltimore Washington Airport, he thought they detected the delicious meal he brought back from his birthplace.
I had some KFC chicken in the suitcase.
He was shocked when Customs and Border Protection seized these 3 bottles of honey instead.
Let me see them come and take me away, handcuff me and take me away from my suitcase. I said, what's the problem?
CBP says Horton was arrested after the honey tested positive for drugs.
I charged with methamphetamine. So I said, what is methamphetamine?
The assumption was that the meth was liquefied and placed in the honey.
When they're ready to release me, they say ice have a hole on me.
Confusion over his status as a green card holder made it harder to get out of the sticky situation. But the second test in a Georgia lab found that there were no drugs in the honey. The charges were eventually dropped.
My kids then just out, my mom, everybody, they put me to hell.
The father of 6 says he is now living at a day's end as he struggles to make ends meet. He lost 2 jobs while he sat in a Maryland jail for 82 days.
Even come out, even all of my insurance collapse. My credit mash up, lose my job, everything. They just left me in a mess.
Now they done ruined this man's life. This completely innocent, unsuspecting father was being detained because police mistook the several bottles labeled honey in his bag for meth.
Labeled honey.
Honey. It labeled, keyword, labeled honey.
And KFC in Jamaica hit different. I ain't gonna lie to you. It be wrapped around the building like in and out.
You talking about chicken?
KFC? Chicken?
Yeah, I don't eat it, but hey, did y'all see the
You
KFC?
don't eat chicken?
Excuse me. I grew up loving chicken. They had a KFC by my house in Atlanta that had Beyond Meat chicken. I didn't try it though, cause that's weird.
I don't eat nothing that's Beyond Meat.
You don't know what it is. They say it's similar to
what
dog
is it?
food.
Low key, the Impossible Burger slap from.
Burger King, my friend
That's
had.
even worse
Slap.
than Beyond Meat. I ain't
I
gonna
want
cap.
real
I'm
meat.
vegetarian, but you never know what it's gonna do to us. In like 10 years, we might all just melt one day.
You never know what's gonna do this.
The Beyond Meat.
Anything, exactly. Anyway, back to my young man. Between the faulty drug test, the delay in processing the inaccurately identified substance as actually honey. Now, what they have to do, run a test on the honey? No. Anyway, and the fact that other governmental agencies had levied charges against Horton as well, this innocent man spent 82 days locked up. And not all of his time was spent in jail. Horton spent 3 months in an ICE detention center. Y'all know how ICE detention centers look. Awaiting deportation for having transported meth honey.
Meth? 30 minutes at Walmart.
What?
Can they even put? How do you put meth in honey? I thought people like smoked that.
First off, there was no way
I'm not
that
a
they
meth
thought this brother had
connoisseur.
meth. Let's just be
He
real.
has all his teeth. He has all his teeth.
I don't think people in Jamaica just really do it meth, honestly. Like they
Now
got
marijuana
enough
is
problems.
different.
Hey, they had to get him on something. They're like, he got something in them jars.
That's a
coming
herb
back
from the
Jamaica.
earth, made for you and for me.
But I'm saying, like, I know that when we go to an airport, you cannot have a certain amount of liquids
the
on
jars
you.
did look a little big.
So they
The
did
jars
look a little bit big, but they could have threw them out. But to test it for drugs is like
To detain someone
Yeah.
while you test some honey.
And these ICE facilities is like
ICE facility? He about
Walmart
to get
that's
sent
been like
home.
made into
He about to get
jails,
sent back
like,
to Jamaica over some honey.
horrible quality.
That's the tea, honey.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
it.
sure his wife
my
probably
thing
didn't
is
even
why
believe he was
why
in
do we have to
jail.
put people in jail when we can just he's already in Jamaica.
Is Jamaica jail
I think
like?
he was coming to bed.
But I'm saying, like, my thing is, it's not like he was
Jamaica.
leaving to Jamaica. He had been in Jamaica. He was on his way back. So why would they arrest him, bring him to America, put him in an ICE facility? That's why I'm
thought he was on the
How
way-
are they
I
going to
think he was on the
reimburse
way
him
back.
because he lost his job and couldn't father his kids? That's what they
that
need
part.
to figure
But what
out.
I'm
Yeah,
saying,
big
I'm
civil
trying to
suit.
figure
Big
out
civil
how did
suit.
the process go because
It wasn't no process.
I'm saying the process of him getting
I think
arrested.
he landed in America, and then
And
when
then
he
he got
was going
arrested
when he
here.
was going through customs, they was like, "Oh, this is imported." Man.
Okay. Because I'm like, how do people in Jamaica?
Yeah, because
put
they
him in
check
ICE?
you. They check the hell out your bags when you come back.
Yeah.
Cap.
They check my, listen, I don't know why they be checking my bags. They leave a little note in my suitcase
And, make
sometimes.
sure you
like,
don't
we
put
check
too
your
much
bag.
important stuff into your check bag at the airport. My friend had a couple of luxury items stolen out of his bag.
Yeah, because they go through your
You're
bag.
supposed to put them in your carry-on and keep them with you at your person at all times. 'Cause
Absolutely.
That Gucci better come out missing.
Absolutely. Listen.
Now, Amanda, I was just about to disagree with you on regards to open season to black people. However, I almost choked on my words before uttering them. Girl, you see, I thought about the video showing Robert Hammond, a cop in Louisiana, attacking an unarmed black male with his hands raised.
Another one.
Now, you'll see, I thought about the video showing about Robert Hammock. So let's watch the video clip. I will warn you that it's rather disturbing.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Viewer discretion is advised.
How you said it though?
There you go. Of course, we got
Did we notice anything about all of the police officers?
Yeah, they looked alike and nothing like me.
They look very clear,
Yeah.
very, very transparent,
Wow.
very from the Caucasus Mountains.
I think we need to put out a call for more police officers that look like us. Just like you don't want your jury to be all somebody that's not like you. You don't want the people who are taking you to the jury to not be all like you,
Right.
because some people can't understand the racial paradigms and the reasons why you're doing it. Somebody might be stealing fruit because they ain't ate all day. You gonna put them in jail? Now they just gonna get worse. When they could get, maybe if an adult was to talk to them because they don't have nobody at home.
I'm just wondering why every 2 seconds a new officer entered the frame. Like, why did
Because
they
it was
need
Why did
necessary.
they
That
turn
man
to
was so out
SmackDown?
of control that they needed all of those
Turn-
officers.
with his hands up? He was so
WWE
dangerous.
so
SmackDown.
dangerous. Wow.
And the crazy part was, it was like every time a new officer entered the frame, it was like, take another shot.
Yeah.
Take a shot.
These people was having a ball out there.
He
That was
hopped
a party.
over the hood.
I keep
Like,
jumping, boy.
how he hop over the
My boy
hood?
thought they was Starsky and Hutch.
Man, they was like, let's try all the things we ever wanted to do.
Like, like they had a lot of, like, they must have had a meeting that got everybody heated, and they all
We're
wanted
going to go out there and police on the count of 3.
1, 2, 3.
Police.
Now, after the incident, Hammock, right there, as reported, the man who did the somersault over the Hammock right there.
Your boy away.
He was given
Randy
10 days
Savage.
suspension and ordered to attend an anger management class.
Boy, he did more
However,
than that.
information was leaked in regards to an incident in 2016 where Hammock shot a pepper ball gun at a homeless person several times for no reason and laughed.
So he lived for this.
He does.
Anger management. That's it.
He used to,
Isn't that
he-
like once you start like doing
Adam
stuff
Sandler.
like hurting homeless people and animals? Isn't that like the first signs of
he,
like us?
he used to burn ants
We
with
don't need to
magnifying
manage
glasses.
anger. We need to get rid of anger. Anger solves nothing.
He used to
Why,
step
why
on,
do
he
people
used
be
to
getting
step
that?
on
Why are you that
caterpillars.
mad? Like, you're just gonna go in here in a class and learn how to move your anger around.
He used to suffocate
You just need to get
fireflies
rid
when he
of
was
it.
growing up.
These people need church. They need Jesus.
Tabernacle.
They need their spirits cleansed. They need some of that holy water. We have holy oil.
Well,
Listen, anger management. And then
somebody called Jesus.
Hey man, I just gotta get right with God, man.
All right.
For real, for real.
Information was leaked regarding an incident in 2016. After that incident, following this revelation, Hammock was allowed to resign from the force, believed he gotten away without being held accountable for his actions. He even secured a position on another police force. However, he eventually was indicted for beating the unarmed surrendering
squad,
man
no me.
last month and pled guilty to the charges that levied him. Hammock faces up to 10 years in prison. Only him though? Like there was like 24.
It's that somersault.
Somebody gave my boy
Somersault.
yeah, you did too much, my boy.
Slid through.
My boy, you could have packed him out, but you did too much, my
He
boy.
wouldn't do the most. He was going out with a bang,
Thought
baby.
this was Bad Boys 3.
Listen, he thought. Not out yet. It's not it, sir. Anyway.
Maybe if he would have slid and didn't do the whole somersault and then he drop kicked
And you can tell he been practicing that because it was smooth too. And he came in through the door.
He was a child.
How did he come in through the door?
do it
Like the
off the
side of
bed.
the door. My boy slid through the door and just started tapping my boy out.
Listen.
Come on, that was next level. He's done that before.
Perfect angle. Like he lived his life for that.
You know how many
done that
times he
before.
probably done watched that video like, I killed that man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was doing it out there.
Yeah.
Like,
He probably got 100,000 YouTube views and they all
listen.
him. But look,
They watch it on the big screen.
but yeah.
Shoot. Anyway.
All right.
Black boys aren't the only endangered species when it comes to police brutality. What every child desires most, and that which has been classified as man's best friend, doesn't even get a reprieve. Now, a whistleblower has put Columbia, Mississippi, shout out to my home team, but I'm a little embarrassed, police officers on blast for shooting dogs. Let's see, we have a photo here.
That's how they doing it. Oh,
Wow. And look at the puppy dog eyes.
What did puppy do?
Ooh.
My God.
This is real footage.
What did the puppy?
Look at the puppy.
What did the puppy
Nah, that's
do?
It was
Photoshop.
posing.
An animal shelter with a no-kill policy has admitted to having police officers shoot and kill 8 dogs, including puppies, as a form of euthanasia.
That's not euthanasia. That's just murder. That's
Somebody
not
would've took
euthanizing.
them.
Yeah,
Somebody would've
that's
took
just,
them
you know,
puppies.
hopefully it was just one shot. Because what if they had to shoot the puppy more than once? Imagine that. I'm sorry.
How do you
Anyway.
sleep at night?
Easily.
Y'all
They
want to
go
pull
right
up
on
to
the bed.
Mississippi and just adopt some dogs?
I ain't going to
I
Mississippi
don't.
for nothing.
I don't want to adopt no dogs.
No
but
offense. Oh,
you not
like
what?
Atlanta police.
I mean, but you know how many dogs be running rampage
going
around LA? We could just
I could
adopt them
visit,
and
but I
let them
can't
go
be
in
around no
LA, and
police.
they have friends out here.
yeah, I've seen no shade to homeless people here, but I have
Every
seen a lot of
homeless
homeless
person
people.
got
They got pets,
And they
Yeah,
make money off of having dogs, yo. Did y'all know? Like people will
buy
be
the
like,
dogs food.
Yeah.
Won't even get a homeless man no change.
Well,
what
sit
is
back-
he like? What does he eat?
he's so cute.
So
and
cute.
Just let's start a mission. Let's all go to Mississippi, get some dogs, and then walk down what is it? Skid
Row.
Skid Row, and just give out puppies.
Y'all ain't going to Mississippi to get no dogs. Let's just put that out there.
With you.
Stop playing with Mississippi.
They got dogs over here.
Anyway, in defense of the officers' actions, the mayor of Columbia, Justin McKenzie, also released a statement last month noting that the officers shooting the dogs was both legal and humane. McKenzie went on to say that the city cannot... Look at me.
He got them
Look,
strong
boy,
shoulders.
he at the grocery
Boy,
store.
if you don't.
Can we just play him for what your boy look
He's
like
at the
Captain
sample
Underpants?
table. Do y'all see that? They giving out
That
samples.
boy be in Costco going back 3 times with different faces trying to
We
get
don't have
samples.
Costco, so he might be at Sam's Club.
Sam's
Not
Club.
Costco.
Oh man.
Now,
Can I get another?
McKenzie went on to say that the city cannot afford to pay a veterinarian to use drugs
Yeah,
to
'cause
put
you
the
buy the
dogs
damn
down.
corduroy
So they
jackets.
rely on the police department to shoot the unadoptable dogs. Now, what's an unadoptable dog?
He look
Hold
like
up.
he
They
like
ain't
to
have
shoot
enough
dogs.
money. The ghetto.
Don't
Ghetto.
do it.
The ghetto.
Don't do it. We doing what we can, okay?
Hey man, just put
They're
them
not gonna do
dogs. Just let
Mississippi
them
like
dogs
that.
be in the street, man.
They said what they said. Anyway, however, first of all, have you seen the prices for a veterinarian? My friend, shout out to Dr. Hardman, is a veterinarian, and it costs so much to do anything at the vet for a pet. Like thousands of dollars. I never had to pay for nothing for a pet.
I mean,
so.
they should have bought care credit. I don't know.
They don't take no care credit at the vet.
Get them dogs.
Yes, they do.
Not for the dogs.
Yes, they do.
Dogs do not have
I got
care
one
credit.
I got one for my guinea pig. Yes, I did.
Well,
I'm not getting
after all
care
this
credit for
social
no guinea pig.
Rest in
Anyway.
peace, Gigi. I got one for my guinea pig.
I would, yeah. No,
Well-
hold on, baby.
Oh, what?
However, according to Brenda Kilpatrick, he trying to jump the gun. They don't want Mississippi to have a moment. A volunteer at the shelter who blew the whistle on the dogs being shot
go.
that said there were no efforts made to get the dogs adopted. According to Kilpatrick, the dogs are apparently abused and mistreated.
Oh.
Have your
I
way.
believe her.
Have your way.
Have your way. Look at Brenda. My mama named Brenda. Shout out to
Look
you,
at
Mom.
Brenda. Oh.
Hey, shout out to
Her
Brenda.
hair thinning in the front, but she look cute.
Hey,
Look at
let
her.
Brenda live. She got drip on. She whistleblowing.
But she the reason
kinda
why.
look
She
like
the
my
reason why
mom.
we know about the puppies. She probably like the nice aunt. She the one who slide you like $3
Yeah,
when you
some
were
candy
like.
and
She just
Shirt.
care about the animals. They don't have nothing to
be
beat
some candy in church.
these folks
But
little
look,
animals.
well, after all this social injustice, it's time to get lit. It's time to explore a little knowledge because knowledge is power. How many of you know some child who
man
loves
is
Harry
this?
Potter novels?
I love Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter with
Hey
the scar
man,
on his
hey,
head.
Harry go crazy,
I
man.
love
He
you,
been saving
Harry.
the world. So he was legit, for real, for real. Only dude that really Voldemort put the spell on him. Voldemort killed people for fun. He tried to kill your boy Harry. Harry ate that. Harry was a little boy. He ate it
He
like
wanna
nothing.
look at Harry.
It's
And
nothing.
he missed it. There you
It's
go.
nothing.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
The realest to ever walk. Straight up. All
Look, Harmony is the only one that held it like a G. Held it like,
yeah.
Like,
Anyway, or maybe you're the one with the entire collection. We got that too. So, were you captivated by the spells? Did you try to cast a few of your own? I know you did. You've been to Harry Potter.
Wingardium
World of
Leviosa.
Universal Studios.
That's all it.
Hey.
It don't work. You gotta keep trying.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Expelliarmus said that. But yeah, all right. So if you answered yes, then you're the reason why J.K. Rowling was recently banned from a Catholic school in Nashville, Tennessee, amid fears that it contains actual curses and spells. Now, spelling is what we do and teach children, so I believe all words and connotations are spells in a way. So in a way, he's true, but a lot of stuff
We
he's
ain't
saying is
casting
wrong.
no spells.
I think so. Manifestation.
When we
is
talk,
low-key.
we
That ain't no
Spell.
spell.
It is because you manifesting what you speak.
That ain't
and the
no
vibrations
spell.
can actually change and
Let's
impact.
look it up.
If you talk to a
Look
plant,
up spell.
the vibrations
Spell.
can actually
Spell means to break down
spell
a
and
word.
conjure. Anyway, so Father Dan Rehill,
I'm not in that spirit.
we have a
realm.
photo of Father Dan.
He looked like a tomato.
Why he look like a wrestler?
We're here today.
Y'all want to talk about Father Dan now.
It's hard in the pews.
As a man of
All right.
God.
He got the realest music. Dun 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 dun. When you walk in,
He tattooed.
Y'all playing with that man.
He tattooed with the Undertaker. But look,
I'm appalled.
who serves? So Pastor Dan Rehill serves as pastor saint for St. Edward Catholic School. He sent parents an email prior to the first day of school informing them that Harry Potter would be banned from the library due to potentially evil content. He went on to say these books present magic as both good and evil, which is not true, but in fact is a clever deception. Interesting. Now, I don't know how you can have evil without good, but anyway. The curses
not
and
what he
spells
said.
used in the books are actual curses and spells. How do you know this? He must be a wizard.
he must have been trying them spells. He must have hit one of them. Wingardium Leviosa.
First our levitate, he's like, no.
He's like, oh no, this is not
I'm ready
Jesus.
for the discussion.
Which when read by a human being risk conjuring evil spirits into the presence of the person reading the text. So he believed that when the kids would read it out loud, say popcorn reading, they would actually conjure some of these spells and evil spirits into the classroom, which would suck. Father Rehill said he decided to ban the books after consulting with several exorcists both in the United States and Rome, the home of the Vatican.
I feel like, you know, the Vatican has a lot of other things that they need to worry about, like keeping a pope.
Or
and
need to not worry about little boys.
Now listen.
I'm just saying they have so much time on their hands to read a Harry Potter book, but like, where's
Can we
y'all?
get our history back? Y'all got about 2 to 6 miles of our history
The
buried up
issue
under the
is
Vatican.
they don't need to be
and
opening
y'all
up
over here
these
talking about Harry
spiritual
Potter.
realms to these kids.
Jake-
Now that ain't no joke.
Y'all remember when we were okay? I'm from the South, from North Carolina, and y'all remember y'all remember when we were kids? We would have like some kids weren't allowed to go to Halloween.
Oh yeah. But
We
that
had
was
Halloween
Jehovah's
at
Witnesses,
church.
though.
Not just Jehovah's
You had
Witnesses,
to
just
go
regular
get
kids
the
just
candy
saying
in the parking
they.
lot. It's the devil.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we don't celebrate Halloween.
Dia
It's
del
the devil.
Muerte. And we have a video for Harry Potter that we would like to show you guys just so y'all can see what's going on.
Be mindful.
I was not surprised.
Although not surprised, this mom is upset. She wants to be anonymous because she fears the school will retaliate, but says this isn't the first controversial decision Father Rehill has made.
Although I don't like the idea of any books being removed, this situation in and of itself, it's just that it's part of a bigger problem with him.
Father Joseph Breen was the priest at St. Edward's for 33 years. He retired a few years ago, and he too is concerned with the message this sends.
I think we would all say it's a very sad experience. Very unfortunate.
Father Breen worries this is the first step towards intolerance at the school. When he was the priest, he pushed for acceptance.
We had great diversity. I'm not just saying black and white, but people from many different countries.
And prays that the school will continue this appreciation for different people.
A priest who is very welcoming.
And thought.
Well, like I was saying, I agree with what he did, especially since the type of school that it is. Spirits aren't no joke. Like, good and evil, magic is not good. That's not of the Lord, in my opinion, and from what I've read. And so since that's what they're preaching and teaching at their school, then yeah, people need to be mindful. Don't pick and choose what you're going to allow people to put into their life or manifesting in them by reading spells and curses and thinking that's cute. It's not.
No, why do you think magic is negative?
Magic? Because the Bible said it is.
The Bible is magic. The whole entire Bible, what God
there's
does.
Spiritual realm, and there's one end of it and there's another end of it.
So turning water into wine isn't magic?
That's supernatural.
That is magic.
Supernatural, but it's supernatural, but it's coming from what you're doing with it and where it's coming from.
So that's good magic coming from the Lord. When you pray to God, you are
casting a spell out of a book is not coming from the Lord.
You read in the Bible, that's a book.
I said casting a spell. I'm not casting no spell out the Bible.
But let's remove the words, what we're doing. Let's talk about actually what we're doing. When we open up a Bible and we say, God, you said in this verse that if I do this, it is your will and your way that this will happen. When you speak to God, that is the same thing. God. Speaking to God. And these people are speaking to another entity. Of course, but the aspect of saying
that's
magic,
the issue.
But the aspect of saying magic is evil when God performs magic. God performs, he says miracles. And that is magic. That is miracles. These are verbiages that we're using.
Well, and that's the problem. That's important. The verbiage is very important. The same way people put some respect on God. If you worship God, it's God. It's not the universe. It's not this and that.
God is the universe.
Put some respect. He's bigger than that.
I think he's all of it.
I mean, but that just goes back to beliefs.
I think God is the universe and God is bigger than it. God is everything. God is us.
Yeah.
So to say that God, that magic is evil, that's saying like God is evil. But God is not good or evil. He is
God is good all the time.
to me, everything is perspective.
God is
okay,
good.
let's do this then. So, because I had this conversation since y'all want to talk about something. So I had a friend named Allison Carroll, right, in high school. She was the sweetest little white girl ever, just super, super sweet, helped everybody, was the manager for the basketball team, the little nurse lady, and she was about to get married, and she died in a car accident the week before. Why did God do that? Not doubting God, but what I'm saying is good is relative. No, I'm not. I never question him. You gotta listen. Okay. What I'm saying is good is relative. You never know something. Somebody breaks in my home, and I see he got a gun to my wife and trying to rape my daughter, I'm going to shoot him. But you're not supposed to kill nobody. But that's why it's good is relative. And basically
everything
what God does
is when
we
just can't see it.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's why we're saying
That's what I'm saying. So for Allison to die, maybe because she died, somebody came to the hospital, saw something change their life, and she impacted somebody how she could have never impacted somebody.
Okay, so what's your argument?
How Nipsey Hussle died. And now Nipsey's message is being flown across the world, where it was kind of just an American thing, and before that was a California thing. So what I'm saying is that everything God does, good or bad, is still good. He don't do nothing
bad. It's just all good, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So God
just take the bad out of it because you're saying it's all good.
If God created magic, and if God created everything, and magic is bad, magic also has to be good in a way, because Lucifer was God's favorite angel. If you read the Bible, and that's what you want to go by on the principles of the Bible, Lucifer was God's favorite angel, and he was the minister of music. And why do everybody like music?
So you saying the devil is good?
But I know what I'm saying.
He was,
and it's relative. So what I'm saying is that we're built in the image of God. Everybody likes music, right? 100%. Every black dude wants to rap. If you gave $1 million to him to rap, he gonna rap. Right? But that's because we're built in the image of God. We are God's people, and God's favorite thing was music.
But that's why the point he's trying to make is God creates everything, including bad people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so therefore, can be good or bad, just like magic.
Therefore, everything God creates isn't good, even though He creates
everything God creates is good. Listen, but then He gives you a choice of free will,
so
and
cancer,
then it turns into something that may not be good.
Cancer's good.
Yeah, if God created it, it's good.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Magic is the same thing. How is magic
So more on education. In a Kentucky principal who made headlines in 2009 for attempting to ban another book for its homosexual content was then arrested this week for possession of child pornography. Yeah, Philip Todd Wilson
Nasty little boy.
was arrested by Kentucky State Troopers this week and is charged with 30 child pornography-related crimes. Now, according to police, they received a complaint from someone at George Rogers Clark High School, where Wilson is principal. The complaint stated that Wilson was distributing child pornography to other unnamed individuals. While Wilson was arrested, police found 15 child pornography images in his possession, like while he was arrested.
That's atrocious. What's wrong with y'all? They need God.
Child pornography.
You can't just go to the booty club or
you can't find children in the booty club. Apparently,
what is so appealing about children? Like, why is this a thing?
Innocence, power.
I don't even think that it's a thing with children. Of course, people are sick, but I think people like the idea that they can get something that they're not supposed to have. I think that's the obsession. It's the power.
Jason.
Hey, man. Hey.
I'm
tell you like my grandma used to tell me, you need to go put your little thing in some ice water, my boy.
Ice water?
Chill out.
Okay, keep it on shit. Chill out. Hey. Okay. Moving on from that. Now for what's the beef. Fashion house Dior has come under fire for its new Sauvage cologne and advertising campaign, which features Native American imagery and Johnny Depp as its celebrity face. We have Johnny Depp. Oh, he's so fine.
Drip.
Good God. Now, God created that, and that's good. That is good.
Hey, God created lust, too.
The French brand sparked an angry backlash on social media after tweeting a teaser video about the new cologne with a caption that read, "An authentic journey deep into the Native American soul in a sacred founding and secular territory." The tweet reads, "More to come September 1st.
Yo, the name is Savage.
Sauvage.
And he's Native American.
It's Sauvage.
And it's Native American.
It's like the Redskins.
Like, that's so racist.
We are the land. They tried to do the whole thing. It's like, I see, but y'all could have tried to pay some homage or something.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have homage.
Y'all had to call it Sauvage. Like that's kind of playing a little too much.
Like, y'all could have hired a Native American to sit next to. Like, just hired a Native American next to him. You know what I'm saying?
He is Native American, I think, but it's not a good look because they used to call them savages. Like,
oh yeah, like Pocahontas.
Not like 21 Savage, like in how we use it today.
Like Pocahontas, they were like savages, barely even human. Savages.
Barely even human. Right. Wow.
You don't remember that?
What was I singing? Yes, I remember.
Exactly.
That. You never know what's in those movies when you watch them.
I'm trying to tell you, y'all know Disney. All that stuff is messed up. Y'all know how Mickey Mouse.
I ain't saying nothing about Disney because I'm trying to get booked and busy on a Disney show if I can.
I'm gonna let you know Disney, little freaky deaky little. Hey, y'all watch out for Disney. Y'all talking about Harry Potter? J.K. Rowling was broke and she made a way. I mess with J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter. Now Disney,
Disney is cool.
I need to.
I like Disney. Like,
do your research.
I did a lot of research. Most of that is like
cap.
No, I think
one of our followers, Mila's sweet crafty mom, said she thinks the name was created to have discussion, create controversy, then let it go viral.
What's that?
About Sauvage.
Oh, yeah, of course. Same reason Gucci did the blackface, the same reason anybody do anything. They know what they're doing.
What were you going to say, babe?
They know what they're doing.
Well, I just think that, Disney has had a lot of opportunity, has opened the doors for a lot of different demographics and has opened up the door for a lot of more diverse shows. Like, if you remember, Disney was one of the first television shows, like television stations that were giving opportunities to young blacks, like Raven, like Corey in the House, Corey in the House. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I give you that, but Corey in the House was a spinoff of that, so Raven. So getting into that, do you think that they're giving us more shows because are they tapping into our $1 trillion buying power?
No, but that was before.
Are they actually? Was it before, or were they just the first to catch it? Why would you, instead of making a whole new show, why would you give Corey a show who was already?
Because Corey was lit.
Exactly, he was lit. Good for ratings, money.
But before Corey, we always remember that first black superhero movie.
Yeah, it was.
Remember the black superhero?
Mm-hmm. And they didn't make another black super. Then they made what's it called? Hero High. They made another super. All I'm saying is be wary of saying that when you're talking about that.
I'm just saying that Disney,
I hope it is, though.
Disney offered a lot of opportunities for young black actors and actresses before it became popular to be black. Because they grew.
He did.
I say that. I give you that.
And he let Raven come back.
Mm-hmm.
She got another shot.
I give you that. Next up, we have what's the beef issue that involves a newlywed couple. Joanna Munizos 2-year-old son didn't want to wear a suit and tie to her wedding. Instead, he wanted to wear a dress like his sisters. So her husband-to-be, Najee, helped him put on a periwinkle blue dress.
Cute dress.
Hold up.
He looked like a little girl.
My boy ain't even old enough to make that decision. Oh, excuse me.
I think
Sorry.
it's more or less
the reviews on social media have been mixed. However, a controversial online debate definitely ensued. What are you guys' thoughts?
He is just a baby, so he don't know no better. But I felt like it was like, I don't think it was a gender thing.
He just wanted to be like his sister.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to be like his sisters.
I'm thinking he was like 15, like trying to be like Jaden Smith or Young Thug or something.
No, he's
but
a
this
baby.
is a baby, man. If you don't. I'm sorry.
No, but
I'm
that's
from the
a
South,
wedding.
so you low key need to put that little baby in that little suit and tie because when he look back in 20 years, he gonna be confused. He gonna grow up seeing that photo all the time, like, dang, blah 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 blah. Nothing against people that's going either way or what way, but at that time, you kind of gotta. It's just the way that genders are in a way that just that specific
train a child
thing.
up in the way you want them to.
I think the issue had nothing to do with the gender. I think it was more or less like the kid was freaking. The kid was freaking out. He wanted to be like his sisters. He probably had a temper tantrum. These parents don't know how to manage their kids.
I was just finna say that. Why folks shooting up schools? Because you let your child put on a dress instead of smacking that little
You
head.
say, son,
no, he's too young.
boys don't wear dresses in the way.
No, and
He's
either
too young.
one of those
That's-
is an incorrect response to that because you shouldn't put your hand on a child that is just a
smacking
baby.
hand.
Smacking the hand ain't. I don't personally condone hitting
Well,
babies. If he has a diaper, if he's still pooping himself, he should not be smacked or popped. But my thing is this: at that moment, you should have took your child aside and said, "Oh, this is such a handsome suit." You should have had the daughters come in and be like, "Oh, he looks so nice with that nice suit on," because that's how you talk to babies. You don't say, "No, girls wear this, boys wear that," because then you put in a
reinforce the positive.
You start making that boy feel bad for wanting to wear a dress. So instead of making him feel bad from wearing a dress, you should tell him. The PC way to tell him is, "Oh, but that suit is so nice and it's so cute and it looks so good on you." That is the way to properly tell your
but I
child.
want to wear the dress. No.
You from North Carolina.
I just
you
don't
from Mississippi.
because you don't want to deal with a child crying throughout an entire wedding ceremony.
And I don't want to deal with my son in a dress throughout the entire wedding ceremony.
I don't want to see him in my
Now it's time for What's Poppin'. It's back to school time, and we want to give an encouraging shout out to the one and only hot girl Meg.
Hey, shout out to you, girl.
Megan Thee Stallion
look at
out
that
here
studying.
studying.
That's my
I
hot
don't know if that's
girl.
4 or 5
man,
that's sitting next to
shout
her.
out to Money
That's
Bag.
4.
Big bust down.
You know what I'm saying? Megan attends Texas Southern University and is learning her bachelor's degree in health administration. He's earning her bachelor's degree in health administration. You want to talk?
Ooh.
You want to talk?
Controversy is the word of the night. What's going on here?
No disrespect, Money Bag, but hey.
Megan attends Texas Southern University and is earning her bachelor's degree in health administration. Many thanks and much love to Meg Thee Stallion. There she go.
Hot girl summer, so you know she got it
She finna go
lit.
by a hospital. Hey, y'all know black women is the highest demographic graduating from college right now. So shout out to black women.
And she is
smart.
truly a young voice making the right choices, showing love and leveling up. Now, speaking of hot girl summer, you know Nicki Minaj was on that track. You know,
Y'all seen the video?
It was kind of popping or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, Nicki Minaj, as pictured, yes, that wig is slayed.
Look at that
She
close.
has decided to retire. She said on her Twitter post earlier today, "I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now. To my fans, keep repping me. Do it to the death of me. X in a box because ain't nobody checking me. Love you for life." Now in June, she has confirmed she has a wedding. In June, she confirmed she had a wedding license. Also confirmed in earlier this month in the Chance the Rapper's song "Zannies and Fools" that she was pregnant, or so some say, with Kenneth Petty. Now, Kenneth Petty is pictured. It is reported in the New York Division of Criminal Justice record that he was convicted in 1995 of attempted rape in the first degree for a September 1994 incident involving a 16-year-old when he was 2015. He was sentenced to 18 to 50 more months in prison. There was no set amount of time of how much time he served, but that was around that time of 18 to 54 months. Now, Nicki Minaj responded on Instagram. He was 15, she was 16, in a relationship, but go off internet. Y'all can't run my life. Y'all can't even run your own life. Thank you, boo.
Bro.
Also,
and that's just that on that.
Petty pled guilty in 2006 as well to first-degree manslaughter in the shooting of a man named Lamont Robinson in 2002. He served 7 years, and was released in May 2013.
Yeah, I like the baby though. He done killed 2 folks.
And has been supervised on. He's been on supervised release ever since then, and just got off May of this year. I just feel like Nicki. It's not that whether or not he did it or not, but like she could do better.
How y'all know?
It's
How
not.
y'all know that man ain't a beautiful spirit?
Exactly.
I mean, Nicki Minaj is like 5'3", 5'2", and like. He not even like 3 inches taller than her. I'm just saying.
It ain't the same height laying
That's
down.
a privilege she has for being short. She can date short guys.
I'm just saying.
I can't.
I'm just saying. Did y'all see that Twitter video where she was like pointing and it was so awkward?
Where the brush short and he got everything
he's
going
still,
on.
He's still a convicted rapist.
I don't. Or something, and he really got a good job.
I forgive people for that past. So I might marry a convicted rapist. It just depends on
as long
what
as he ain't short.
I mean, it just honestly, it just depends.
As long as he's short.
Everybody need love.
His legacy is short.
He could be a convicted rapist as long as he. That's why I'm over here going hard. I'm like, as long as he convicted. Hey, as long as he, what I'm saying, 5'10".
I'm just saying it's hard because like. I don't like the idea of like Nicki Minaj, her caliber of men was, he don't even like pop drop like
y'all
Safari.
Can't even run y'all own lives.
Safari has a dildo mode. Safari is doing nothing. No offense, Safari.
Safari is doing perfectly fine.
But my boy got a dick mode and then started using that to get to the top. Meek Mill, he been bammed up in court too, so it's like. Wrongfully so, not saying
but
free meat free.
But I'm pretty. But
I'm just saying, like, how do you know what do you know her taste of men?
This man don't even work.
What if she want a man that don't work? What if that was on her list of things?
I'm just saying, like, what she?
As long as my boy, you know what I'm saying, doing
folks always trying to date somebody else, man.
As long as that's her best friend, that's probably her best friend, and he probably do what he need to do.
With her allowance, that's what he do. What he need to do with her allowance.
She not worried about it. She got guap. As long as he do what he need to do.
What does he do? Because he just stand there.
And now for a commercial break.
Listen, also on the entertainment front, we have the story involving gold medal gymnastics champion Simone Biles' brother, Tevin Biles Thomas, photoed here. 24-year-old Tevin Thomas, an active duty member of the U.S. Army, was arrested on August 29th in connection with the murder of 3 people who were shot and killed at a New Year's Eve party in Cleveland in December 2018. He has been charged with murder, voluntary manslaughter, felonious assault, and perjury. Simone and Tevin grew up in different states after being placed in foster care because their mother struggled with addiction. Simone and her sister Adria were raised in Texas, while Tevin and their sister Ashley were located in Ohio. Now, Simone released a statement saying, "My heart aches for everyone involved, especially for the victims and their families. There is nothing that I can say that will heal anyone's pain, but I do want to express my sincere condolences to everyone affected by this terrible tragedy. I ask everyone to please respect my family's privacy as we deal with our pain. XO." This is truly a tragedy, and YVMC sends our deepest condolences to the families of the victims as well as the family of the Biles and Thomas family. Wow.
Well, so we're going to close out tonight with you guys to chill. We got to chill on the opioids.
Come on.
I can hear the perkies come.
Because people are losing their lives at an alarming rate, the government is cracking down on pharmaceutical companies. An Oklahoma judge ruled that Johnson & Johnson must pay $572 million for the penalty of allegedly helping fuel the opioid epidemic with irresponsible marketing practices. The case, brought by Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter,
stand up guy,
yes, is the first out of potentially thousands of lawsuits is the first out of potentially thousands of lawsuits filed by state and local governments against the opioid manufacturers, distributors that could go to trial.
Wow. 572 million?
Yes.
Okay, listen. That's an extraordinary number. Hopefully the money will be put into drug prevention and reform. Like, why is it that much going on? That's crazy. Opioid-related overdoses have skyrocketed in recent years as users change from pharmaceuticals to street drugs like heroin, much of which is now tainted with powerful synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
Now, before we kind of go past that, I just want to say...
fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl. I just want to say that the state was originally seeking $17 billion, so this 572 is really just a percentage of what they were seeking. Johnson & Johnson makes billions on billions a year, so that 572 is chump change and probably a write-off for them. So don't get too excited because Oklahoma said that's literally only what they need to cover 1 year's expenses for the drug program. So that's really not that much. And then the company Purdue that made oxycodone got sued for $270 million, and that's why you don't have oxycodones earlier this year. But like we were saying, that's not even $1 billion collectively, and these companies make at least $1 billion a month. So it's just like, it's a small drip in the pot, although we are happy to see that cases being brought and motions filed against these people.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of fentanyl, like you were saying earlier, that's exactly what happened to Mac Miller. Yeah, rest in peace, Mac Miller. He's listed right here. He battled with depression and self-medicated with street drugs. Now, he met his demise after purchasing what he thought was Percocet tablets, and he instead had pills laced with fentanyl.
That happened on Euphoria.
Yeah,
Zendaya, she usually take regular opioids, and she took fentanyl, and it was like a whole different experience. Like, she was out. Like, she didn't even want to try that no more, really.
Yeah, like, y'all stop popping Perkies, man. The Perk is really meth, bro. It's the same thing, bro. Perk 10 to Perk 30. It's not cool. I don't care what Thug say, what Gunna say. It's not cool. You might wake up somewhere you don't need to wake up. In the hospital, in the grave. So just chill out with the Perkies. Future don't take Perkies no more.
He never took them. He said that he rapped about them.
Future don't take Perkies. So
Future don't take drugs.
Future out there popping Perkies.
These rappers.
Future want a future. He not taking drugs.
I'm telling you,
he trying to catch up to my boy Russell, man.
These rappers out here, are saying that they're on all of these drugs with all of these women. Meanwhile, they getting married, having kids, living successful, happy lives.
Look at begging hot girl summer booed up in school.
Right?
Y'all out here at parties throwing your life away.
Look here now. Now, Mac Miller, going back to him, he met his demise after purchasing what he thought was Percocet tablets. Instead, he got pills that were laced with fentanyl. Now, recently, Mac Miller's drug dealer has been arrested and charged with distribution of controlled substance and could face up to 20 years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Hey, yeah. Stop.
That's sad.
Stop selling these fake little cut drugs and all that extra stuff, man. Let's get a new hustle, guys.
And why is your reality so bad?
I mean,
we have to work on our.
Honestly, it's hard because it's like once you get to that point, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, dang, you thought everything that you ever had, you thought was fame and success and money, and then you realize it's not nothing. And you probably sacrificed a lot of stuff that you really cared about on the way. So a lot of our celebrities, we do need to watch out for their mental health, and that's why they turn to drugs, because they have the money for the drugs. You feel me? Like, lean is not a poor man's drug. Lean is, you know what I'm saying? You're going to spend $300 on the cup. You know, a poor man can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of times these drugs are only for the rich, and they have the problems that we're not even thinking about. So let's be mindful of them.
But the poor, listen, the poor taking these drugs too.
Yeah, the poor got problems
Definitely.
too. Even worse.
And the problem's getting the cheaper version.
Which is cut with all type of fentanyl and all that.
Exactly. They're getting these cheaper versions, which is then laced with other stuff, which is then
Don't put.
You don't know what's in nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you a pharmacist or you out here researching scientific prescriptions and stuff, you don't know what's in none of this stuff, regardless of how it look, what it look like, if it resemble what you used to taking, if somebody else taking it. You just don't know.
Yeah. Rubber testing and
Sprite
Sprite is not cool.
You don't know what's in weed.
Tylenol and Sprite is not
unless
cool.
you're growing it yourself.
Unless, that's what I'm saying. Unless you're skilled,
even weed,
you're just trusting whoever gave it to you or whoever you buying it from. We don't know what nobody's putting in nothing.
Big facts. Well, before we get out of here tonight, while we're on this health trip, It would be neglectful of us if we didn't inform you that September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month, and today is actual International Day of Charity. So if giving back makes you happy, there are many ways in which you can do so. It can be as simple as buying a person a meal, giving money to the less fortunate, or volunteering your time for an organization helping others. We want to give a shout out to Melissa and Eric and other YVMC hosts giving back at Empower Youth Back to School event. Also, how do you give back? I want to say one of the ways I give back is we actually have a charity that we're going to the Bahamas this month and then Costa Rica in November to basically give back to the youth. So we're collecting shoes now, like lightly used shoes to basically give back to the children. So if you guys have any shoes or clothes y'all want to give to the Bahamas hurricane victims or either basically the children that are less fortunate in Costa Rica, then please feel free to hit up Young Voices or either myself how you can donate. All right.
I just put my good energy out here into the universe, in the atmosphere.
The magic.
And it just, it moves people. So, that's all I'm doing right now.
Hey,
seeing me is charity enough for people.
Ooh.
Wow. The level of bouginess that is taking. It's just going up. Wow.
I'm joking. Right. I try every time during the holidays to try to find things to help with, to work on. Last year, I was helping someone with a Thanksgiving event in which basically we put all money together to make a Thanksgiving meal for everyone who lived in LA that didn't have family out here, like transplants. And then we took the money to buy care packages for the homeless.
Yeah, I was gonna say we used to do the care packages back home, and I haven't done it out here, but with deodorant and socks and stuff. Yeah, I like that idea. It does.
Really do.
It does. Absolutely.
And you think one thing for $1 for 100 people?
Yeah,
wow.
They add up. Hey, no Jeffrey Epstein, but the Boy Scout motto is do a good turn daily. So make sure that you're giving back and doing something good for somebody daily. It will count and it will come back around to you.
Well, we're out of time. Tune in next week. Tell a friend, mention us, all of that jazz. Follow us on Young Voices MC on IG and Young Voices Making Choices on YouTube. We out here. Period.
Drop some mic.